When people arrive in prison or in jail, there are a lot of factors that bring them there. We know that mental health, substance abuse, poverty, neglect, learning disabilities, those are all factors to people being incarcerated. Important for us to have an informed approach and have a decision-making that is based on data and knowledge about why they are where they are.
They said I was involved with a serious assault, and so that they review you at that point whether you should be in the restrictive housing or not. They found that I should be.
Any prisoner who comes into a restrictive housing environment, which means they're going to be in some environment where they're not let out of their cell for more than 2 hours on a given day. Any prisoner that comes into that environment, we want them to know why they're there, what's expected of them while they're there, and then what they need to do to start focusing on transitioning out. All right, good job.
A lot of us down there are not down there for small stuff. I mean, we're there for a reason. Oh, you'd have guys doing, cutting themselves, doing just wild stuff, fighting with covering the windows, fighting with people, stuff like that. That rarely happens now because they've changed up the whole way they do stuff.
It was obvious that no good comes of locking people away in a cell for 22 hours a day. No good comes of that. And we have to ask ourselves, if the citizens of the state of Maine are paying $44,000 a year to house someone here at the Maine State Prison, when the person's released, they should be treated and programmed for the reasons why they arrived. And so it's very important for us to address mental health, substance abuse issues primarily. Those are the big drivers here in the state of Maine, as they are nationally. So we began a journey with the staff to try to inform and identify why they are there, insist that they have a path moving forward. So if someone arrives in a segregation sort of environment, they have to be clear on how they can work their way out of that. And they do that through programming, through good behavior, good socialization, respect amongst each other and with staff, and it's worked very well over the last 18 months.
I like it better because I am a general population housing unit manager. That's what I do. I'm used to working with prisoners face to face. I don't like yelling through doors. I don't like having to raise my voice. I try to talk very calmly. So I think the more you get away from that, you put the prisoner at ease. And I like putting the prisoner in control of their own destiny too.
They switched over to this whole new program and level system where you can actually earn your transition back. It's like level 1, you get so many privileges. Level 2, so many privileges. Once you get to level 3, you actually start getting more freedom. You still get more freedom in level 2 because you're allowed more electronics, stuff like that. But once you're in level 3, then you come out without chains. That's like the big test. I've done a lot of, not just in this state, I've done a lot of seg time, restrictive areas. And sometimes they don't transition you back in. And they'll just throw you right back in the population where you're around people when you haven't been around people for 3 years. It's a little crazy on your mental health, you know what I mean? Because you go back into areas that you're just not used to people. Here, now where you're on level 4, you come out with other people. So now you get used to being around people again and used to having that freedom. So when you go back over there, into regular population, you're a little more prepared for it.
I like the use of segregation less. Do we still need it for some people? Absolutely. There's some people that need it because they are assaultive or they do things that hurt other prisoners or they're predators or whatever. That's why they're not in here for singing too loud in the choir. Or they're in here because some of these guys have done some horrific crimes. But for the most part, the really truly assaultive people tend to lay low.
I certainly don't think we're ever going to get rid of a special management unit because there's always a need for that in some fashion. I think that our goal will be to move away from any sort of long-term use of such a setting. And if that's required, to really have targeted interventions in place from the first day they walk into that unit until the last day they walk out of it, so that they're not sitting in isolation, they're not sitting having detrimental effects on their mental health or physical health.
Appreciate it. We'll get you back out, okay?
We have 42 individuals now that are attending college classes. We have a whole lot of domestic violence training going on, substance abuse. It's going very, very well.